Hi everyone, the Mature Simmer here. So welcome back to Coast Let's Play in American Truck Simulator. So I've been looking at these two jobs, the one from Minneapolis, Minnesota to McPherson, Kansas, or from Chicago to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Again, my goal is to kind of keep traversing west to eventually allow me to get the largest mile jobs that I can as quickly as I can. I'm going to go ahead because the distance is similar, but the cost is substantially higher, and I'm not really, I'm technically even a tiny bit further west here, but I'm slightly intrigued too because this gets me into this road network that is a lot more fleshed out here in this map group, which obviously also in the southeast there's a lot more roads than up here in the Midwest and north. So again, if something becomes available to get me, you know, from North Dakota across to Idaho or whatever, I may still go that route. But I think because we just expanded our distance, usually it takes one cycle before the game changes that and expands that, because in theory we should be able to go out to, I think it was like 1,500 miles, but obviously we're maxing out at 650 right now. So get my lights turned on and we'll head on out. So yeah, last time, and I don't know if again this was a map issue or something else, the last episode when I tried to start moving, the game crashed on me actually. So I was luckily able to jump back in, grab that same job and continue. So I was a little nervous that that would happen here, but it didn't. So the good news is we're on our way. This one is still about a 32-minute delivery, is what I'm being told. So it shouldn't be terribly long. Just like last time, it's just, obviously I lost my video in between before, so it was substantially shorter, but once again, I'm not going to chat too long here. Nothing really has changed. We'll just drive. We'll probably throw this on a time lapse because it's short enough that it can be done that way, and we'll go from there. So I'll see you either when something of note happens or toward the end. Enjoy the travels in between.
You'll win somehow, so give up on the bottom, baby. It's hard, I know. Let the music take over, baby. I know your doubts, but it's wide open ocean, baby. Let sun pour down. We can dance in the light, oh baby. Heartbreaker, dream maker, let go of your problems and look at all your smiling friends. Jailbreaker, earthquaker. Don't you know you can settle for more? Don't you know you can settle for more? Don't you know you can settle for more? Don't you know you can settle for more?
Here in McPherson, we're getting ready to drop this off. We've got a double that we're pulling, so this is likely just going to be a pull in and park. So we're not going to get any kind of parking bonus. I don't anticipate. But yeah, definitely. We passed Topeka. I don't know that there's a way to get to where they say Topeka is. So I don't know if there's things like that on the map that are designed for future expansion or something else, just so people know where they're at. So, so yeah, I was thinking I might unlock that, but we did get Des Moines and Salina and McPherson, so we've got 3 additional unlocks to start jobs from, so that's always a good thing. So we're dropping it off here at the Walmart, and as I said, I think we're just going to pull up to the side and park, but we'll see what it asks us to do. And more importantly, we'll see what kind of skill point impact we have. There we go. Kind of on the wrong side of the road, but if that's where it wants it, that's where we're going to put it. Alright, let's see what we've got. $13.25, so yeah, I think we'll get 1 point. And then we'll definitely get the next one next trip. So once again, yeah, in theory we should be up to 1,600. This now unlocks up to 2,500. So now that we're at level 5, trailers are available for purchase. We've got 46,000. And again, on the skill points, we've got 2,500, and the next point will be anywhere. So we're finally getting to that point. We're not, you know, these aren't used by the base game really effectively. They are a little bit more in ETS, although I am also typically using pro mods there, so I'm not entirely sure that that's accurate, but I think with Iberia added on, I think they are extending to the far distance there. So that gets us done with this delivery, and we'll pick up the next one in a bit. I've gone ahead and kind of made the decision. I'm going to take this load of frozen vegetables from Milwaukee to Fort Lauderdale. We can do up to 1,600 miles right now. The mixed tanks are a little bit longer. They're heading out west as we want to go, but they're not going that far because they're starting pretty far east, so they're barely getting into the map. And this one was intriguing to me because it does unlock the Florida distance that I'm thinking may also be important for some of the longer jobs. So I wanted to go ahead and do that, and you know, there's a possibility here we may get, you know, we probably won't get Indianapolis because there's another road, but you know, looks like we might get Louisville, maybe Knoxville. You know, we might get 5 or 6 other unlocks along the way. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And again, 1,600 miles. My little tool will tell me in a moment once this loads. So yeah, it's 1 hour and 14 minutes is what I'm being told. So that's obviously not going to be a video length I'm going to do. So, you know, I'll get moving along here, and then we'll just very quickly have some information, and we'll splice these all together and make a short episode of probably several quick trips. So sit back, enjoy, and I will be doing my drive, because I don't think there's going to honestly be much to see once we get out of some of the towns, because all of this is on the coast-to-coast map, just as the others have been, and as we've talked about, there's just not a lot of scenery to see or talk about. So I'll go ahead and probably try to do this on a time lapse, but that will be it. Okay, so we're south of Orlando here, getting close to our delivery point, so it's actually a little bit north of Miami. I don't think we're actually going to discover Miami, which is fine. Looks like we might get two towns here, though, Boca Raton and Fort Lauderdale. So that's still going to be a couple points, and as you can see, they do have some industry that we'd be delivering to and from, so it's not a bad thing. Should give us what we need.
Get ready to turn right.
About going through, we've probably discovered half of the areas I thought we would. Some of the areas I thought would be for certain, like Louisville, didn't happen, and then we got other things like Valdosta, Georgia. So it was kind of a mixed bag. And I would say once we got into Florida, even some of Georgia, was actually a lot better modeled. There's been a lot more stuff around. I'm sure you were probably able to see a little bit of that in the last bit of the time lapse as we got into that, where it moved from just being empty, as we had in a large portion of the map we were driving. Okay, so we've gone from the turnpike over to 95, but then, like I said, I think we're just going to Fort Lauderdale, and that's basically where we're delivering. So we're 31 miles away, it says. I have also found that the GPS the voice is wrong. It's being tricked in some way. So at most major intersections, again, you may have noticed I was pulling up the map, and there were many times it was telling me turn right when I needed to just pass straight through. So if you play this expansion map, just keep that in mind if you use GPS like I do, that the voice GPS doesn't operate appropriately. Which is interesting because the line obviously does, but obviously they're using different algorithms to get their guidance. Where was the exit? Oh, it's the next piece, okay. Definitely very busy, but Florida is kind of busy that way. I've never really been driving down here. I've flown into Miami once, driven around the city there for some work I had to do, but never actually driven outside, so. But I know most of the areas of Florida, especially along the beach, like these communities. Whoa, like these communities are. That was like a pretty blind view there because they're coming over the hill with the overpass. Luckily that didn't turn into an accident. And once again, I'm very surprised if we don't get Fort Lauderdale unlocked. And we've got FedEx and something else. Looks like actually there's a Walmart, a Tesla, a Kivette, however you say that. I don't even know. So there's a lot of stuff down here.
Get ready to turn left.
But you know, this is kind of what I was hoping for, because something like this where you've got 4 or 5 points where you can originate from, it just creates that many opportunities for loads that could take us all over the country and give us that exposure that I'm talking about of seeing what the longest run will be with all these maps. Okay, so yep, first spot. Pretty typical with these with this yard. So we've got the little short trailer. Didn't realize that until I popped out here. I guess I should have thought about that. Wouldn't have to pull up so far. The turning radius on it, though, then is insanely quick, which is the other challenge I always have with parking this thing. Not sure I'm gonna get where I need to there, but we'll try. I'll pull forward a bit. Shouldn't be too bad. So yeah, hopefully, that's still, wow, it's pretty crooked. Yeah, it ain't gonna let me go. I'm against the wall, so guess we'll have to dance a little bit more. I'm gonna repeat the process if I'm not careful. think we're good. There we go. So let's see what we end up with. At this point, we're probably far enough ahead that it's unlikely we're going to get multiple ranks. Although, well, we did get 3,000. So I guess I was proven wrong. So we did go up 2 levels. So the good news is we max out our long distance, and then typically what I do is fragile cargo because of the experience bonus. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll kind of start unlocking these, and then hazardous cargo afterwards. So the good news with all this is, yeah, we're definitely moving quickly because of the long distance. So that's one thing, is, you know, really the advancement in ATS or ETS is distance-based more than money-based. I mean, money's obviously needed to get garages and trucks and drivers and so forth, but leveling up and getting skill points is all distance-based. So typically you're going to want to take the longest distance you can. Now, I'm part of a VTC, which is a virtual trucking company, and progress there is money-based, so there's a little bit of a conflict sometimes going on in what I'm trying to accomplish, because I'm also trying to level up in my VTC. But that's kind of a ancillary item to what's happening here. So let's just take a quick look at the map, because at this point we've definitely got some interesting spider webs going out across the country. So we're down here to Florida. We're across and up a bit. We're getting close to the official maps. Definitely was kind of interesting as we went into that area, the other run we did. So we'll see what comes up next. We were a little over 1% of the road network explored when I started this trip, so we've got like 1.2% of road explored additionally, just in this run itself. But as you can see, like, we didn't get Indianapolis, we didn't get Louisville, we did get Knoxville, Cleveland, Tennessee, we didn't get Chattanooga, we did get Atlanta, which I think will be important. But then other things like Macon and so forth, you know, Gainesville, we went by pretty closely. We didn't get Orlando. So, I didn't even see a thing for Yeehaw Junction. I'm thinking whoever was making that part of the map must have some special connection to that, because that's not a major city that I'm aware of. Alright, so that's all we've got in this case. I'll see you next time.